What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mia, and as always, welcome back to my kitchen. It is officially fall, everybody. This is my favorite time of the year. The temperatures get cooler, my wardrobe looks a whole lot better than it does in the summer, and that means it's time for wonderful comfort foods like soups, stews, and chilies. And today is definitely that day, guys. I'm in my kitchen. We're making some Louisiana Gumbo. Let go. Alright, everybody, let's get started. I'm using my trusty Dutch oven today. I swear by this. This was a wonderful investment, guys. It's solid cast iron and it's coated. I love it so much. This is one of my favorite cooking utensils in my entire kitchen. Alright, so to my Dutch oven, I have it going over medium-low heat. What we're about to do, guys, is we're going to make the foundation of our gumbo, and that is the roux. The roux is equal parts flour and oil. So to our Dutch oven over medium-low heat, I'm adding 1 cup of canola oil. You can use canola, vegetable, corn oil, whichever is your preference. I'm a canola oil girl. And we're adding 1 cup of all-purpose flour. What you're going to do is you're going to give this a good stir to incorporate it. And again, this is the foundation of our gumbo. Now, this is going over medium-low heat. Why? Because we're going to build this roux low and slow. You cannot just jump into a roux willy-nilly. This is not a willy-nilly kind of dish. This is definitely a labor of love, guys. I can tell you that. So what I'm doing right now is I am incorporating the oil and the flour mixture over the medium-low heat. I bumped it up just a little bit to medium, but don't play higher than that unless you are a professional. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook this roux low and slow over this low to medium flame until this white mixture becomes the color of milk chocolate. Even a brick red roux would work good in this dish. Okay, so as you can see, the flour and the canola oil are all incorporated in together, and they're over this medium-low to medium heat. And what you're going to do, guys, is you're going to stir. Do not walk away from this roux. I get it. It takes a long time. Anybody that has ever made gumbo before, you understand that you have to stand right here at this pot and you have to stir. Making a roux is not the time to get into an argument with your boo. This is not the time to go put a load of laundry in. This is not the time to be cupcaking on the phone with somebody and kikiing and all that. No. This roux gets your undivided attention, and this is going to take roughly about 45 minutes, low and slow. So right now we are at the white stage. There are several stages to a roux. From the white, which is what we're doing now, you've got blonde, you've got a peanut butter color, you've got kind of a caramel color. You eventually get into a brick red color, you get to milk chocolate, and then you get to burnt. And if you burn this roux, ladies and gentlemen, you got to start all the way over. And if you love gumbo as much as I love gumbo, you're going to try your hardest to get it right the first time. So what you see me doing right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is my life for the next 45 minutes. If you do have to walk away, you know, things do happen. Get one of the kids to stir this. Get your man to stir it. Get somebody to stir it. If you have to walk away. But you don't want to be gone too long, guys. You do not want this roux to burn. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I will be right here stirring this roux. And I'll check back in with you guys and I'll let you see the progression of the roux. Sometimes you want to make sure that you're doing it right, you know, in the different stages. So I'll stop back in and I'll show you guys what it looks like as the roux progresses. Okay? Okay. Alright everybody, about 10 minutes has passed in YouTube land and we have reached the blonde stage. This is the first stage you will hit after you have married the oil and the flour together. So past the white stage, we are now into the blonde. I don't know if the camera is doing it justice, but what we have here is a nice wheat color. It is starting to brown. I have a really nice nutty aroma in my kitchen, which means that that raw flour taste is cooked out. And this is what you'd want if you were doing gravy for like smothered pork chops, some smothered chicken or something. You want this. It's at its maximum thickening power. And it has a light nutty flavor to it. But we're not done yet because we're not doing gravy. We doing gumbo. So I'm just going to sit here, keep stirring, minding my own business. And I will check back in with you guys when we reach the next stage in roux greatness. Okay, everybody, as you can see now, we have hit what I like to call the peanut butter phase. Kind of caramely, not really. I think it looks more like melted peanut butter. As you can see, the roux has been slowly cooking along over medium-low heat, and it has gotten much browner. The smell in here is really nice. Really nice nutty fragrance. Also, as you can see, the darker the roux gets, the flavor intensifies, but the thickening power goes down even more. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I do, guys. Standing over this medium-low heat, stirring this roux. When it hits the next phase, I'll let you know. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are about 35 minutes into this roux, and as you can see, we are now hitting the brick stage. This is when it's kind of a reddish brown color, like rust, also known as brick. So we're just gonna keep on stirring here. My arm is about to fall off, but you know what? It's gonna be worth it. It really is. Again, we're gonna lean a little bit towards between brick and milk chocolate. That's where I like my roux. So I think I'm gonna let this go another 10 minutes. And once this roux is where I need it to be, we're gonna move on to the next step. Okay, as you can see, we have hit milk chocolate. Doesn't this look just like milk chocolate, guys? All right, it's go time now. Now, all total, my roux cooked for 45 minutes. I stood here and stirred for 45 minutes. My boo was nice enough to give me a hand every now and again. But when I said you had to constantly stir this joker, I meant that. Also, it's going to get smoky from cooking your roux. You definitely want to have your overhead fan on your stove. If you have one, definitely utilize that while you're cooking your roux. Don't think for one second that I didn't have mine going, but obviously for recording purposes, I don't need the loudness of the fan to disrespect you all's ears. Okay, so now, again, 45 minutes has passed. We have gotten our roux to a lovely milk chocolate stage. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get our vegetables in this pot. To the roux, I am adding 3 diced celery stalks, 1 medium yellow onion, and 1 medium bell pepper, also known as the Trinity. I'm sure some of you guys out there are familiar with that if you've ever cooked jambalaya, gumbo, or even your cornbread stuffing at Thanksgiving. You know about the Trinity, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to go ahead and get that in. Now be careful. This is hot, bubbling fat. So you don't want to just go throwing everything all in willy-nilly, because this skillet's going to get a little angry about that you're adding vegetables to this hot liquid. So please be very careful. Okay? Okay. So our vegetables are going in. Now, you had the nuttiness of the roux blessing your house, but now it's gonna get real fragrant and delicious up in here. All right, so we're gonna get those vegetables down into the roux. It smells so good already. Something about onion, bell pepper, and celery coming together. Well, the Trinity is something else. Okay? So what I want to do, guys, is I'm going to let these vegetables cook down in the roux and get soft. Not for a long period of time, because we still don't want our roux to burn. But we want the vegetables to get into this roux and get to know each other. So while this is going, we're also going to add a pound of smoked sausage. I have my smoked sausage here sliced into lovely medallions. Now when it comes to your sausage, you can be just a little bit subjective. Right here, I just have some smoked sausage. That's what was at my store. You can also use kielbasa, beef, pork, or turkey, whichever one you prefer. But if you have the opportunity to get a hold of some andouille sausage, andouille is a nice, flavorful, spicy pork sausage that is typically used in Louisiana for these types of dishes. If you are fortunate enough to have some andouille at your store, your local grocery store, get on it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and add our smoked sausage in here. Now, if you want to sear your sausage in a little oil, get some brown on it before you incorporate it into the vegetables and roux, definitely do that. That's going to add some flavor. Normally I would do that, just not doing it today. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to stir these vegetables. I'm going to crank this up. Want to be in full-fledged medium heat right now. So I'm going to saute these vegetables over medium heat for about 5 to 7 minutes. And then we're going to move on to our next steps. Alright, so 5 to 7 minutes have passed. I think I'm leaning closer towards 7 minutes, guys, myself. It smells so good in here. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and add the rest of our ingredients so we can keep this gumbo train rolling. So, to our vegetables and our smoked sausage, I am adding a nice heaping tablespoon of minced garlic. Because can you really have enough garlic? I don't think so. We're going to add a tablespoon of your favorite Cajun seasoning. This is just the one I like. 1 teaspoon of onion powder. I also have a tablespoon of dried parsley flake, 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper, 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, and 3 bay leaves. Alright. And to all this goodness, I am going to add a 32-ounce carton of chicken broth. Yes. Get that all up and through there. Notice how everything just calms down when you add the broth. Right? Right. So I'm going to get this incorporated. Make sure that everything is nice and loosened up. We don't have any clumps. But don't worry, we're not done with our liquid, guys. Now, if you like for your gumbo to have some heat, some kick to it, now would be the time to add a teaspoon of some cayenne pepper or even a few splashes of your favorite hot sauce. Alright, now that that's come together, what we're going to do now is we're going to add, at this point, I'm going to add a half of another 32-ounce carton of chicken broth. And I'm going to check and see where I'm at after that. Alright, that's looking good. You can always add the rest of that 32-ounce carton if you need it. If you find that the gumbo is getting a little too thick, which I'm sure it will, you can always thin it out. And now that we've got our liquid incorporated, we're going to go ahead and add 4 boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And what I did was I took my chicken thighs and I put them in a sauce pot over, say about medium-high heat. And I let these boil until they're cooked all the way through. I didn't heavily season the water. What I did was I just added some salt, some pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder. And this is what we have. Now, if you want to do it this way, that is perfectly fine. You can also go to your local grocery store and pick up one of those nice rotisserie chickens that they be having. And you can just break that down and put that over here in your gumbo as well. I think I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of my 32-ounce container. So right now, guys, we're at 2 32-ounce containers of chicken broth. Yeah, I definitely want that other one in there. There. So that's 2 32-ounce cartons of chicken broth. All right, guys, and that is it for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this come to a boil. I'm going to crank up that heat. I want this to come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, we're going to reduce it to a simmer. Get it down nice and low, guys, nice and low. We're going to cover, and we are going to let this go low and slow for 2 hours. Okay? Bring it to a boil. Reduce it to a simmer. Cover. And drop it very low for 2 hours. Once that happens, we'll move on to the next step. All right, 2 hours has passed in YouTube land. Let's take a little peek at our gumbo. My top gets a little hot, guys, so we're gonna use the oven mitt today. Ooh, do you see that? Cause I see that. Oh, it smells so good in here, guys. Oh, this looks amazing. Now I got one more step. Now, if you like chicken and sausage gumbo, you are done at this time. But me, because I'm extra, I'm going to add 13 ounces of already cooked large shrimp. And I'm adding these at the very end because they're already cooked through. You do not want to let these shrimp go for as long as the rest of the gumbo did. If these shrimp had been raw, you would not want them to go as long as the gumbo did, that full 2 hours. Unless you like chewing on pencil erasers, I don't. So we're going to get these in here. And since these shrimp are already cooked, we just need those to warm up. Alright? Now what do you do with this gumbo after it gets done? Well, I hope while this has been simmering, you got around to making a pot of nice fluffy long grain rice to eat alongside this delicious gumbo. Or perhaps you whipped up some cornbread to have alongside this gumbo and rice situation. If you didn't, I suggest you get on it now. Alrighty, guys, this is our delicious, made from scratch Louisiana gumbo with smoked sausage, chicken, and shrimp. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe and watching this video. So don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. And I hope you guys will come back, catch me in the next video. Bye-bye.